In one of the earlier videos, the instructions on building the Speeduino board mentioned that we didn't have to populate the outside row of pins. That's not actually true. We do need a few of them, so I've found out. We want to control the fuel pump straight from here because it's not a race car, it's just going on a daily driver. So I'm not going to have a separate fuel pump switch for on off. And I also want to control the cooling fan, the radiator cooling fan. And on further investigation, these pins here are not connected via the Speeduino to here at the moment because there are no headers. We're going to use a ULN2803 chip. It's a Darlington pair. That's going to sit in here. The trouble is, we have to use this solely because these are directly connected to the Arduino and they're not capable of grounding out a relay coil on their own. So that's why we need this to give them a bit more oomph. So let's get on and join these to these with these. We'll just solder a few. We don't need them all, fortunately, because I've only got a few spares anyway. So we'll put these on, we'll put a ground in, solder them on, and then we'll move on to modifying the chip and getting it connected to the board. So let's do that. Now that we've soldered our extra few pins on, the Arduino will now be able to connect to this area in the proto board. We need to get our ULN chip. So let's take that out. We can't use it as it is, we do need to modify it. It's going to sit in here like so across these legs. Now what we don't need is these two pins and these two pins. So what we'll do is we'll snip them off. And these two. And we need the positive take you off like so. So now we've snipped them off, we can place it in the board. We're going to have to just slightly tease out these legs. Because it won't fit. Across. There we go. Excellent. That's how that's going. So we'll get that soldered in. Going to have to run a 12 volt wire here let's get them done. So I'll get them soldered on and we'll come back and we can sort anything else out we need. What I thought I'd also mention is what I've done is, because I'd already built the Speeduino, the IDC connector was already on, which makes it awkward to solder to the 12 volt leg. So put yourself a wire on. The wire needs to go through here, underneath to the 12 volt. So through the hole next to C24. That's that. Also, what I did before soldering this down was I just linked out 51, because it's going to be awkward to get to it to solder once the chip's down. That 51's going to be the clutch ground for a launch control if we ever use it. So there we go. We've now got fuel pump control and fan control. We can put a tacho output on here as well, but we will need a pull-up resistor. We can use this 12 volts, and I think it's 49 that they have as the tacho. I'll find that out, but I think it's 49. So if it is 49, we'll have to go from this 12 volts and solder a resistor across. I'm not sure what size yet. It's somewhere in the region of 1K upwards. That's not going to stop us starting the car though, not having a rev counter. Right, there we go. Next is wiring up the... What have I got here? Next is wiring up this. This is going to be the igniter unit for the Coilpacks. So we've got some inputs and a ground and some outputs. Excellent. We'll get that sorted in the next video.